Hey everybody, Professor M here again. Gonna go over today how to use a PSDT file, otherwise known as a Photoshop template, and how you can set your work inside of there for mockups and also for submitting on projects like this one or a vinyl album cover. So with this, let's get into it. I'm gonna go down to Photoshop and I've already got the file open. So as you can see, it's gonna have a PSDT. And so what that means is it's a template. So make sure whenever you save your work that you save a new version and you title it, because otherwise it'll just put out infinite number of untitled files for you. So there's a little bit about that. So let's get into this. So this is a file that I got from Adobe Stock. You can find a bunch of nice templates there that'll work out for you. That you can help mock up, place different things. So right now we've got our album cover here. It's got some nice stuff going on there and it's labeled really well. So you can see different things like insert your design here. You can put another one for the vinyl label, which is actually going to be this little purple ring right here. You can change the background colors and all that kind of fun stuff. So let me show you how we're going to do this real quick. So for your album design, right here, you'll see that we have this little icon which has a square inside of a page. So what that means is it's a smart object. So smart objects are kind of linked to each other. So whatever we do in the file we're about to open, it'll link here and transpose it onto it without having to manipulate it itself. So after we get a shape all settled out, this smart one will talk to each other and help us with that. And you'll see what that means in just a second. So right here, we've got our smart object open. So you can see it's locked right now. We've got a layer. I usually like to put my stuff on a separate layer. So I'll add this. That way I'm not interfering with the main one. And luck has it, I've got an illustration that I've done, and I'm going to go ahead and link it into this. So I'm going to look for my illustration on my desktop. I've got one here. And this one's a little off. This isn't to the ratio that we were doing our final artwork in, but it's good for an example. So I'm just going to use it as is. Just being cognizant that it is a little bit different in the dimensions. And so what I did was I made sure to do it by pulling on the corners, not pulling on the side. While it scales now, in old versions of Photoshop, if you did this, it would skew it. So that would cause some bad things to go on. So that's why we're going to use the corners, kind of an old habit of mine. But nowadays you shouldn't have that problem. So once you have this laid out, it's in a good spot. You like where it's sitting on the canvas here. You can go ahead and hit enter, and that will tell it that you're done moving it around. Now, if I want to deselect, I just click off of it, and there we go. So that's how my image will look on here. So the important step is you can tell that I have not saved it because I've got this little asterisk here. That little star lets you know that your file is unsaved. Always check on this. So I'm going to save it now just using the quick command S. It's asking me for compatibility. We're all good with that. I'm not really worried about it. I'm going to hit OK. You see it saved right there. So now, because this is smart art, when I go back to my original, you will see my artwork applied to that little mask that they made, and it'll look photorealistic on that album cover. So here we go. Here's this right here on the album cover. So what I'd like to see on this is obviously your artwork. And it'd also be probably a nice touch to put your logo that you created earlier during our logo projects somewhere on here in a corner, somewhere where it's not too distracting. Just as a nice little watermark on there to show that, to make it as photorealistic as possible. So this is how we'd go through making this. And once again, I have not saved it. So I'm going to show you this. So I'm going to go File, Save. And you can see it wants to do Untitled 1. So we're going to change this to record cover. Obviously, when you're turning this in, feel free to put your name and things like that to make it easier for grading. But for right now, this is just an example for anybody online. So record cover PSD, the Photoshop file. So then we're going to go ahead and hit save. And there we go. Now we've got that in a good spot. So another thing we can do on here is if you want to change the background color. So we can go ahead and click inside of this. I'm going to double click, and you can see just by scrolling stuff around, I can either make it match the album here. I can go ahead and take it, and maybe I want to go more towards the hair color that's in my illustration. So you can change a couple of these to make it match the mood that you want to go for. So that's kind of how to use this, how to apply the filter, how to edit different things. And you can always check and see. It's a good idea whenever you get these to toggle things on and off. Hit these little eye icons, and these will show you kind of what's going on. You'll be able to get a sense of what they've done in here in order to kind of reverse engineer this and recreate it. So we've got this, and what we're going to do is we're also going to package this file. So similar to how we package in Illustrator, but just a little different. We're going to go to File. We're going to go down until we see Package. Then to choose our desktop because that's the fastest and safest way. It's going to pull all of these together. I also want to come up with another little version of this just so I can show and keep and not worry about all my file sizes and things like that. So I can always do a quick export as PNG. That'll make a nice little one too. You see it's thinking. I'm going to go ahead and save again just to be good. And we don't need this. So now when I close and minimize this, I've got my PSD file. So now I can go ahead and open that up and continue working. I've also now got under record cover. You see that I've got the PSD. I've got all my linked files are already in here, good to go, and all that good stuff. And I think actually what happened is it sent it to my documents, which it did. So I'm just going to copy and paste this guy over. So always make sure to double check where you're sending your stuff, or you can end up like me and putting it in the wrong folder. So now we've got our PNG here. So this is great. We can print this off, we can put it on the board, all that good stuff, and show it off and have it in our portfolio. So last step just to turn in is we're going to go ahead and take this. I went ahead and right-clicked on it, and you're going to compress or zip your file. And this zip file is what you'll be turning in. So that's a little bit of this. It's all complete. I've got everything in here. So you will have your packaged file along with a quick little PNG export here, just so I can see it at a glance, and then make sure you've got all your files linked and everything's good to go. And that's what you'll submit. So that is the finished product for your vinyl album cover. This is due by end of night on the 22nd of Monday, October. So get it in before 11:59. Hit me up if you have any questions, and also reach out if you've got any other questions about this video or topics covered in it, and let me know, and I'm here to help. All right. Well, thanks everybody, and I'll see you in class. Bye.